One, Kelvin Joseph has entered the transfer portal. Why are we talking about Kelvin Joseph? Because he was a corner at LSU and one of the top safety recruits in the class of 2018. And this is a dude who 6'2", 190 pounds, coming straight out of high school, thought he was going to play at LSU. Things did not go as expected because turns out they got two guys that could have won the Thorpe Award last year playing in that same backfield. One, Greedy Williams playing with the Cleveland Browns this year, and Grant Delpit is on the watch list this year. And you're looking at this guy as an Oklahoma fan going, yo, who has reached out to one Kelvin Joseph? And I think if the dude can play, you need all the help you can get at defensive back if you're Oklahoma. Just period. But whether or not he wants to come is open to question. And I've reached out to his people. We'll see if anything comes of that. But that's a good question to ask first and foremost. And the second one is, would Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch want to have Kelvin Joseph? I contend they don't really get to say no if he wants to come because you don't really have you don't have what you need to have, man. I love Buki, but since you're not going to play him at corner, we're going to get to see him try to grow up at slot corner. We all love Trey Brown, Tulsa kid, but I saw him get sunned by Colin Johnson as much as I love rewatching him get the sack safety on Sam Ellinger. This dude can cover. He can play safety. He can play slot. He can play corner. And more than that, he buoys what could be just another disaster at safety because it was open to question. This time last year, we were going, who are they going to play at safety? Because nobody trusted Khalil Houghton, and you turned out to be right about that. Thought Robert Barnes was going to be that guy because he looked the part. He's huge. And then Josh Jacobs turned him into a skid mark in the Orange Bowl. You moved Justin Broyles from corner to safety, and he had a great game against Iowa State and not a whole lot else. Delarian Turner-Yell was a great hitter, but he can't cover. He was torched in the same game that Buki was torched in against West Virginia. You're hoping Jeremiah Cradell can come along. You're hoping Jaden Davis can help you out. You're hoping Ty DeArmond shows us something. And maybe Woody Washington ends up being that dude. Folks in Tennessee are very high on him. They loved him. They hated to see him come out of state. But you need a guy that everybody else wants and a guy that knows what it means to play great defensive back at the highest level. In the same way that you need Jalen Hurts on the offensive side to show everybody, hey, this is how you win a national championship. This is how we got there. I know you guys are good at getting to the college football playoff. I know you guys are good at winning football games in the Big 12. But when we're talking about getting past that next hurdle, which is winning a college football playoff game, that's what I think Jalen Hurts can provide for Oklahoma. And I think Kelvin Joseph could do the same for the defensive backs. And if you're Grinch and your safeties coach, this is a really great opportunity. Now, I'm not so certain that he would do it, but I think if it's there for him, you gotta take a chance. You have to. Your secondary was trash last year. You're like 130. So pass defense was garbage. Your cornerback play was suspect. You're gonna probably play 7 yards off the ball again. Your safeties are gonna be asked to keep the top on a defense where Big 12 offenses routinely say, no, we're running go routes and post routes, and we're daring you to run with us. Here's a kid that can run with you, and can run with Tylan Wallace, and can run with TJ Vasher, and on and on and on and on. If it's there for you, you got to do it, right, Patrick?
Oh, again, we talked about this a bunch. I mean, competition is what they need, especially in the back end there. And look, we've heard Alex Grinch basically tell recruits, there's opportunities here, so if there's opportunities, you need all the capable bodies you can get. So, yeah, I definitely say go for it. But now, obviously, they have to have a scholarship to make it work. I don't know what their current situation is. It's getting late in the year to tell somebody to hit the bricks. But do they have a spot open?
Put it this way. When Chris Steele was looking to transfer from Florida, Oregon didn't have a spot open. They made a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? and as unethical as that might be, you can make a spot. And this scholarship that you are planning to give out to some walk-on, the Lee Morris du jour,
yeah,
you probably would feel just fine given that scholarship to Kelvin Joseph if
Sure.
you thought Kelvin Joseph could help you because it's cutthroat.
Yeah,
and
I guess
cutthroat.
In that instance, I've known guys who basically they have a year-to-year scholarship.
Everybody has a year-to-year
Well, yeah,
scholarship.
but I mean, these are guys who are former walk-ons who know, hey, I might not have this in the fall. I mean, that the coaches, the good coaches, which I think OU's in this class will tell the kid, hey, this is yours, but it may not, it may not be here in the fall. So that could be that could be one of the scholarships also. I can't speak to what exactly OU's scholarship situation is, what's tied up and what's not. But like you said, if you bring this kid in, that means someone who thought his school was paid for this fall, it's not anymore.
Well, no, I mean, not necessarily, right? Because I think you always have a scholarship on reserve, right? Because, for instance, you got that Derek Green scholarship back after this year, at the start of the summer because he transferred, right? Who'd you give that out to? You were able to get R.J. Proctor here as a grad transfer. I know that the 85 scholarship count scares people, but if you actually held these schools to account and asked them to update like their scholarship depth chart period on a day-to-day basis, you'd be shocked just to go there from week to week to see what's moving around and what's not moving around. And we don't ask them to do that because it's a lot. I mean, roster management is a big part of it. And now with the invention of the transfer portal, you'd be stupid not to have at least one or two scholarships available to you. And that's just poor planning on your part as the person who's in charge of putting together a football team. I'm not gonna excuse that. And I think that's a big part of it. If you're not thinking this far ahead to where, hey, we might actually want to take somebody else at this position if they become available because we know that we have this and we know this is a weakness for us and you didn't plan for it, that's your fault. I mean, if I didn't do the rundown this morning, that's my fault, right? That's the same thing. Plan for stuff to go wrong. Have stuff in your back pocket. If you don't have a contingency plan, you did not plan. And I think a contingency plan that allows for you to upgrade at any position on a football field is part and parcel of what you do if you're a head coach. And if it isn't, maybe you need to be fired because you aren't thinking about the team. Because that's directly thinking about the team. That's what that is. It's going, no. I need to win. I need to put everybody in the best position to win. And that also means I need to play the best player at each position. And just if that player isn't already on my roster, I need to go get him. And I need to make allowances for the opportunity, if it should arise, to go get him out of the portal. Coaches are very fond of saying, I don't really like the portal because the kid doesn't have to talk to me. Or I don't like the portal because of the waiver request. Yeah, well, you like the portal when you have a need. Okay? And right now, your safety position is Chance Sylvie and Robert Barnes. Those are your guys. Do you think those are going to be the guys? I would contend probably not. Jeremiah Cradell is going to have something to say about that. I mean, Justin Broyle's going to have something to say about that. Trey Norwood, does he even play corner anymore? These are all guys that you're trying to throw in the mix with Jamal Morris because you just don't know. And I think most coaches would love to know exactly what they have at every position, because if you don't know what you have at every position, you're probably not very good. We all are saying Jalen Hurts is the guy because we know that he's very good. Nobody's questioning whether or not CeeDee Lamb is the guy because we all know he's very good. Neville Gallimore's the guy on the defense. Kenneth Murray Jr. is the guy on the defense. We understand those things. And at positions where you don't have an understanding of who your starter is going into camp, that's actual bad.